You are not alone in life. No matter how it seems at times, you can never be alone because you're never separated from God. The only way that you feel and experience that is because you're a human. You're having a human experience of separation. You're only having an experience that at times convinces you or makes you think that you're alone. But you can never be alone because you're never separated from the source, from the creator, from creation, from God. You have an entourage of angels, archangels, spirit guides, energies that their entire existence revolves around your support, guiding you, synchronizing your life. You're never alone. Loneliness is a human sensation, but it's not the truth. The truth is, you're never alone, and you're always supported. And there is always a power beyond your understanding at play, supporting you in your life. There were times where I felt like this wasn't the case as well. When I lived in New York City, I lived alone in a 400 square foot apartment. And there were times where I felt absolutely alone. I felt like I wasn't seeing signs of God, seeing signs that would let me know that I'm not alone. I was just caught up in my own thoughts, my own beliefs, my own goals and aspirations, and the rat race of the city that never sleeps. This brought me through my dark night of the soul period. And I am so grateful for that. I am grateful for the pain that I went through in thinking that I was alone. Because I grew up spiritual in the sense of religion. I grew up Catholic. And I was going through a transitional phase where that wasn't working for me anymore. There was something missing that I knew was deeply important, but I couldn't quite find what it was. And so in that transition between being religious and letting go of religion and not knowing where I was going next, not having a symbol to pray towards every day, I was beside myself. Truly, literally beside myself. I didn't even feel like I was myself. I didn't even feel like I was in my body anymore. I just felt empty. Because I knew that there was a truth that I didn't understand yet. And I also just felt betrayed. I felt like everything that I was brought up to believe was true was actually a lie. I felt abandoned by God. And it's the loneliest that I've ever felt in my life. But I got through it. I never gave up on myself and my knowing that there is a God, that there is a source greater than anything that we can comprehend or understand with our human minds. I just knew that was true. And that is what kept me going. Just knowing that that was true. As betrayed as I felt, as awful as I felt, I held on to that one truth that I knew inside me had to be true. And I let that guide me. And I was open to anything and everything at that time. And so if you're feeling similar feelings right now, I'm speaking to you because I want you to go through it quicker and smoother than what I went through. I carried that feeling of loneliness and abandonment for far too long. It didn't need to be as long as I did. But I'm glad and I have no regrets about it, because now I get to speak to you and hopefully inspire you to the knowing that you are never, ever, ever alone in your life, no matter how it seems. There's always something beyond your understanding at work in your life, guiding you in a direction that is truly who you're meant to be and become. So just sit with that for a moment. You're pulling it right out of my heart right now. I feel like my heart is like right here. You're really meant to hear this right now. Man. Life continues to flow, just like the water behind me. And your essence never dies. It always continues to grow and to move forward. If it feels stagnant, if you feel stuck, just keep going. Just keep moving in some direction, because you never know where it's actually taking you. There's so much in life that is truly beyond our understanding. And you know, God, the Creator, Source Energy, our higher selves, it speaks to us in whispers. And that's tough. When we were brought up in a world of work hard, sacrifice, suffer, strive and struggle, it's nearly impossible to hear God's voice when we're just caught up in the rat race of our lives, our goals and ambitions constantly, and we never give ourselves the grace to soften, to be present, to not know what the hell to do. I think the reason, in my belief, in my estimation, that God does speak in whispers is because our birthright is to be soft. And what I mean by soft is open, vulnerable, present, and quiet. Now that doesn't mean that we just kind of sit around on the mountaintop meditating all day. But while we're taking the actions and while we're going about our lives, we have a quiet sense of knowing that we are supported and guided and loved unconditionally by God. We don't have to prove anything to God. The truth is that we're already perfect beings. And though we live imperfect lives as humans, because we make mistakes and we're always learning, that doesn't mean that God abandons us in those moments. Where we feel like we're in a moment of imperfection. So God speaks in whispers because we're meant to be quiet. Our birthright is joy, is a quiet and peaceful mind, an optimistic mindset that things always work out in our favor, no matter how it seems. And so, if things seem chaotic in your life and loud, just do everything that you can to slow that down and to slow that mind of yours down a little bit for a little while so that you can hear the soft whispers of God and the universe. Because it's very rare that God raises his voice. I hope this speaks to you in some way today. I hope this lights up something inside you that has been dim for a while because you felt so alone in life. Because maybe you're in a very tough transition in life right now. But that doesn't mean you have to stay there. It's not forever. This too shall pass. So trust. Trust in yourself and what you know deep down in your heart to be true. You don't have to know everything. I think it could be a very powerful place to not know. But just be open to all possibilities. And have faith in yourself. And have faith in that all-powerful and knowing and unconditionally loving energy that is God, that is the universe, that is source energy, that is who you really are. I hope this helps you, my friend. I love you very, very much. Don't give up. Keep going, because you are never alone.